Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are watching this live. Typically, the Sunday morning show with the twins. I'm Carrie Little,
And I'm Mina Blazy.
and today we're going to talk to you about the updates with ChatGPT. Now, we're going to show you some things that are specific to the updates, but there's some cool things happening in the world of AI. And some of you, if you're behind, you just need to log in and get to playing. So, Mina, what are some things you've already figured out, or some we haven't even started using some of this stuff?
Um, a lot. Every time I go in, something seems to change a little bit. Like, for example, just the idea of where you could edit. It seems like it's in the chat feature, where you locate things compared if you are using either the app on your phone or the app on your computer, because you can use it as an app on your computer, or if you're using the web-based one. Like, things have just kind of moved around. They're still there, but I recommend that people kind of click and play.
And
It's like playing in the sandbox. Like, go and explore every time you go in, maybe take a minute or two and just click, press play and see where everything kind of moved around to. And what I like is that it's kind of like all the software programs we have, like Microsoft and Google, things get updated. So that's just what they're doing. Like, I think that it's kind of nice where they put stuff.
what's
What about
interesting
you?
is, go ahead.
I was gonna say, what about you? What about you?
Oh, so what's interesting is I have been teaching and a designation for in real estate. And as when I'm teaching it, I've been using ChatGPT to help agents come up with their value proposition based on their job history, their experience, what they stand for. And so every time I log in, I'm like, oh, I said, this is really hard for me to teach all of you because ChatGPT keeps getting updated and I want to get in here and play. But I can say, even you, you were like, Carrie, you need to get in and log into the new um, animation tool that we're still trying to figure out. We're not going to go there, but there's new animation. And now, if you have ChatGPT on your mobile device, you can actually turn on your camera and ask ChatGPT to help you. Like, for example, if you're trying to knit, you can turn on your camera and say, "How am I doing? Am I making the loop correctly? How about crochet? Am I trying? If I'm trying to make coffee, using a press, what do I need to know?" Like, there's some cool things that are happening, and now, you know what I think we should do, Mina, is I think you should share your screen to kind of show the updates or things that you have figured out that have moved around, and then I think you should show them projects, because that is a game changer in the world of AI, especially for those of us that log in every single day.
What I what I also mention is the things that have changed and moved around. I'm realizing that, and I'll share my screen, that it's kind of creative and fun. But I'll go back to what you said about the video, in which I hopefully you'll share and show, because if I got a lot of questions about how do I start a YouTube last week when I did that webinar, and and what can I do to clean up my social media? And we took a screenshot of it and threw it in. We took a screenshot of the YouTube video, for example. Now I'm thinking, if I want ChatGPT to tell me how I'm doing with my video and what can I do differently, what can I do to enhance it, what do you notice? It'll do that. Like, I could record what I already did, a few snippets of it, and see what it tells me. So I think that's kind of cool. Okay. Typically, this is where you have this drop down and you have
Are
all
you
of
able to
the.
make it full screen or no?
Yes, I do, but I will in a second, but I want to show you two different things. So you
Oh,
have
okay.
this drop down here. So, but there's also this app on my phone. I mean, on my computer. That's why I wanted to show you this. So, um, here where you had the different models, you'll notice that the main model, ChatGPT 4.0 or Omni, is here. And it still has like the use advanced reasoning and faster reasoning and more models. But I noticed that there's this little folder toolkit now. And if you click on it, press and play, you're not going to break it. You're just going to learn. You can do picture, use Dolly, where before you had to say create an image. It's right here. So if I wanted to create an image, I would select that. And now it is programming language as if you were like doing, if you know what Midjourney is, you'd have to say image forward slash. That's what this is. So now you can just select, I just want to search the web. I don't need to go to Google. I can just ask ChatGPT. Then I noticed that the moment I do that, I have two things going on. So I want to back it up. Now you see that it just disappeared. The moment I put search the web, it disappeared. So refresh your screen. So it comes back. And then you reasoning in Canvas. Reasoning again, it's in two places. Not sure why they have it there, but I can select reasoning and now it's coding. You can see that it's kind of hyperlinked because it's a different color. There's coding. And then Canvas, they moved. I kind of like that. And so when I click on it, it now is like this coding language, because before I'd have to tell it, use the editing tool, use Canvas. I don't have to anymore. It's right there. So, and which I like. So if I put in a prompt, it's going to split the screen and it'll have what I want on the left and some information on the right. And then I can edit it. I can change what level it is, kinder, middle school, higher education. Or I can say, polish this up and it'll finish it. Or I can edit it and do things like that. So that's what Canvas is. And then, I also noticed if I go to my actual app, that this looks a little different. It pinned my own GPTs. So it's not mimicking the exact app on the web, which is okay, but you can find it all. So that's one thing that I'm noticing. So if I wanted to use Canvas, I still have to tell it. But I have the other models here. But I'm noticing that if I want to use Canvas, it's not here, but I can do it because I've seen it. I just have to still tell it. So it's just a slightly different. So that's what I kind of noticed. And now if you wanted to do anything, we could do it here. But if I did want to find my GPTs, if I select here, the sidebar or the dashboard, they're all here. Or if I select it over here, I can go to my GPTs here. So it's set up a little bit differently. And if you're thinking, well, what is a GPT? Go and watch one of our other videos on how to create one.
What's interesting is you have a lot of GPTs, and I'm over here in the world of new agent GPT. But the fact that they're moving so quickly, because ChatGPT now is 2 years old, November 30th, 2022, and they're making progress, they're making updates, they're making it cleaner, they're making it so you can actually work. Show them the update where you can actually manage your your work better.
Okay. Um, we loved when Google came out with Google folders. Like you could put everything in a folder. I could color code it. I wish this was color coded one day. But now, if I want to, I'm just going to close this bar for a second and then reopen it so you can see that. Let me refresh the screen. And now, right here, it'll look slightly different. It'll just say projects and a plus. I can create folders. So I can select this plus and create a folder. Like whatever it is that I want to do. I like that it gave you the prompt birthday party planning. What's a project? And it tells you right here, projects keep chats, files, and custom instructions in one place. Use them for ongoing work or just to keep things tidy. So whatever I want to name it, let's say YouTube ideas, and I might want to not just use YouTube ideas. I might want to add something to the end. That way, because I can do a bunch of folders. Like I don't want them all there because I'm going to have so many YouTube ideas. Let's say YouTube ideas, teacher. I just put AI teacher, for example. Like, and I may or may not keep this. Like I can get rid of it. I create the project. And what I really like right now, this is what let me shut that a little bit, is I can add any files that I want to add in here. So if I've done other GPTs or created a PDF in Canva and it's a model that I want to make sure that ChatGPT references, I can select this and go find it on my computer somewhere and upload it. I could also, let's say, I wanted to use my own articles that I've written my own blogs. I could upload it there. Any articles that I've written that are university level or peer reviewed articles that you found. Let's say you found 10 articles on AI and whatever, or 10 articles on, let me think, real estate in my hometown, or what's the latest. You go and you can search it with ChatGPT, find me 5 articles on my city, on the best places to shop and dine, and you upload it, and then you do a YouTube video about that. And I'm being trying to be really thoughtful about what I say, because you want it to be the same for all real estate agents, but I could do that for educators. Like, um, what is the best school, and why would I want my child to be there? Like, I could find those. So you could add the files, you can add tailored instructions. This is very similar to a GPT. I can give it specific instructions on what I want. And then when I start creating chats, they will all show up here, which is nice. Like, I don't have to go and find them. Now, I don't mind going to find them, because now I have this search chat. So if I wanted to find anything that I've done in the past, like if I wanted to find graphs, like if I type in the word graphs, it's going to find every graph that I've done. And I've done so many. Like, look, like any graph that I wanted to do. And if I wanted to be specific, I can at least search this now. This was somewhat recent. I'm going to say in the last 30 days, but I could always do it on my phone, but now I can search it. It is my hope that ChatGPT will let me drag and drop and move some of these things in here one day. Like, because I want to organize it. Like, I'm hoping that I can reorganize my stuff.
Somehow you need to become a part of the seat at the table, is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, if you could be the person that kind of helps them out, it might be a game changer. So what's interesting is when you started doing that, and even before we started this conversation, I was thinking, as a real estate agent and how I use AI, how could I actually, what kind of folder would I want? And right now my conversation with agents is around, what is your daily to task, or wait, what is your daily checklist? Not a to-do list, but what are the things that you must get done every single day? And so, but then there's also the, what are the things you need to get done every week? And I'm thinking about blogging on LinkedIn, and how I could use the data from the multiple listing service, and then create a folder just for, if I were picking 4 cities, pick those 4 cities and have those folders, and I could upload the data. And then what's cool is, at the end of the year, I'm thinking that I could go back and ask ChatGPT to create an overview blog based on the entire year, and ask ChatGPT to forecast.
You just triggered a moment, because we have every state in the United States has public data for schools. They have public data for real estate. There's public data for census. Whatever it is, you could go and grab all of you can either download the PDFs or add instructions of to search the web and upload all of that in that folder. I just had a moment. And the word forecasting, and knowing the language. And if you don't know the language, you can ask ChatGPT, like, I need language to analyze data. I need language to, I don't even know how to look at data. Help me. What would you do first?
And so what I'm doing right now, because on my ChatGPT,
Show me. I'm
I have
curious.
not
Tell me more.
created a folder. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go clear my screen, because I was in here playing with the image thing, and it is not doing what I told it to do. So we'll come back and discuss what ChatGPT decided to do. Didn't do what I wanted. But anyway, so let me share my screen. I don't have my projects created.
That's what it looks like at the
So this is
beginning.
what it looks like. No projects. I haven't done this. So I'm going to create a new project and we're going to title it the city that I want to use, West Chicago, Illinois, not Chicago.
Now, would you add anything to it in case you had to have more folders that were West Chicago, like
Oh,
something?
you mean like if so you're saying, and right now, because I'm guessing I could rename it. Let's just create it like this and let's see what
Let
happens.
me see.
Well, let's test it. So then when I come over here, it gives me the ability to delete it.
Yeah, you can't. You can delete it, but you can't change it yet.
Not yet.
Dot dot dot. Yet, because everything is
I
a
don't know.
yet.
Yes, you can up here. Look.
Oh, oh, oh. You wait. Click on it. Just
So I
kidding.
can, right. So
So
I
you
can
could
change it.
once you start to realize that that one folder is going down like this one road, you can say, yeah, I need to update this a little bit, and you could acronym things, WCIL, and yeah, but you would know what
Oh,
it is.
no, no, no. In West Chicago, we call it We Go. It would be WE, the capital W, lowercase e, capital GO, where we go. Because we
Oh, that's
go,
kind of a nice little
West
like.
Chicago. So, okay. So I'm going to add some files. I'm going to add October data for 2024 and October data for 2013.
And as soon as you do that, I want to point something out once they're uploading.
Okay, so and let me get my thought out. So I've added those two files, and in my mind right now, because every real estate agent needs to start somewhere. You don't have to go backwards. You can if you really want to. So let's say the first data set I'm putting in is October. And a part of my weekly checklist, and it could be the first week of the month, I'm going to work with West Chicago. I'm going to come here, upload the data, because around the 15th of every month, we get the previous month. So I will have November 2024 in a couple of days. So if I did this every single month, I think that by the time next year, I could start doing some predictive prompts to help me in the future so I can be the expert in the city of West Chicago and the go-to person when it comes to data.
And what's interesting about that is that I think, first of all, there are people out there that think that, oh, you're using generative AI, you're cheating. No, it's enhancing what you're doing. People used to say that about Google, like, oh, you're getting all the information there. Well, we also used to get all that information from those things called encyclopedias, and you had all 32 of them, and they were huge and big, and you had that traveling salesman person, and now it's just here, and now we have something that can help organize us. But what I wanted to point out is when you created the project, the plus sign seems to go away. To get it back, just hover over that area. That's what I noticed. Like, so you see where it says West Chicago on the left side, that where it says project, like you have to hover over. If you hover to the right, it goes away. So don't think it disappeared on you. You just kind of have to move the mouse.
So you're saying you can still create more projects. You just need to come over here and
Just move around, right?
roll over. Right. So here's what's interesting is because of this project, and many know that are in my membership or they learn from me is I have data prompts somewhere. There it is. And so I could take this and before I move it, because so I'll just change this to
Wakanda
West.
forever. I'm just
Right. Well, we have a
saw it.
Wakanda in Illinois.
I know.
So West Chicago. Then I can take my letter, go back over to ChatGPT because it says add instructions. So I'm just guessing. And maybe I'm not even sure if this is what I want.
You could go to a different window and ask ChatGPT to help you with these instructions, like why make it your life's work. Like you could,
I wonder if I do a new chat in here like this.
and then say, help me with instructions on what I could put in my instructions.
Or I could do this because this is the new chat within.
Oh, dang.
Oh, because now what I could do is I can rename this. I think. Yes. Oh, it gave me the name. I'm going to say We Go Letter Prompt.
You got me messed up. Like this is just like I'm
So
on a
then,
whole like wow.
because I've
Just
already done it, I can go back to West Chicago, come back to my prompt, go here and ask it for the blog post. Let's see what's happening. New chat. Because it's using the data, right? There's the blog post. I usually I think I should recreate my prompt or update it because I don't like the bullet pointed blog. I want it to read like an article, unless that's like the new trend. So it's done, I think. It hasn't changed the name yet. I'm going to hold out and see what it does. But I could go back and grab the other prompt. I'm hoping, based on what I'm doing right now, that ChatGPT allows me to have prompts within a project. That's what I'm thinking. So here's my social media one, and it hasn't changed the name. So I'm going to rename this We Go blog post. And I might even need to say October 2024. I'm not sure. So back to my project. Then
this is just
I
like
paste this and then I click enter. And in my mind, again, if I was sitting at the table with OpenAI, I would say that I would want the ability to add specific prompts that I would like to be able to have a folder within the folder or folders within the project.
yeah. It's yeah.
I can think this through for them as a previous administrative assistant. That's what I'm thinking.
Or and at the point of becoming an expert at how we organize information, because we organize everything on our computers in folders, and then I have folders within the folders, you know, just like this idea of a progression flow map, and that's what happens in Google. So we
I think
clearly
I've
see that
already
they're
got
doing it very fast, like they're doing it quickly. So I mean, I'm not complaining, trust me. I'm like excited.
I think what I would do with the instructions is, first of all, this project would be called um, West Chicago Marketing, I think. And under the instructions, I would say every month I am going to create new content, a new social media post, a new letter to potential sellers, and a new blog post. And I would want the instructions to consistently go back and look at the prompt. But could I put those prompts here? Because it doesn't give me it doesn't give me a character count or a word count limit. So I'm wondering if I came here and did this and came back to instructions and I'd say each time I add new reports, use these prompts to create a letter, blog post, and social media post, and then do that. I don't know.
Why not? And you can keep updating it. It's not like you don't, you don't go back in and keep updating it.
This is the game changer.
And if you have trouble writing instructions, have ChatGPT tell it what you're doing. Like I'm creating,
You could literally, just like you're saying, you could go back to the chat
or make
and ask.
a new one if you're like I need to see
That's what I
both
mean. I'm
of
in a
them.
new one.
Or I mean separate, like a whole new window. I mean, like you want to see it both and copy, cut, and paste and throw it in there if you
Oh,
feel like you're
okay.
confused. Like open
You're
up
saying open
ChatGPT
up
twice.
another Chat GPT browser.
Right. Now, I'm not saying you have to, but because you will clearly know that you can copy, cut, and paste. But if somebody's like, well, I need to see both at the same time, you write the instructions, you go to the other window, you throw it in because it's already open. That's what I was thinking. But either way, clearly works. Like, I mean, and there's so much going on with ChatGPT. That's why we've said getting in it for a few minutes a day and just using it and pressing. And sometimes we don't know what we don't know. We don't know where to start. We don't know where to begin. And when I have learned when I am processing something and I'm like, I can't even think this through, go ask ChatGPT. Go. We used to do that with Google. I mean, if you want to buy something and you're like, I need something for a Christmas gift, we go to Google. We've even gone to Amazon and said, um, ages, 3 through 6, gifts for boys, 3 through 6 gifts for girls for Christmas. Like the hottest thing, it even knows. Why can't I do that in ChatGPT? I mean, it's there to help us become more efficient and stop trying to make some things like hours of work. There's no reason. Now, I'm not saying if it's something that you want to publish and you want it to be your own writing. I mean, unless that's your purpose is to write something and say that ChatGPT wrote it, that's different. But it certainly it is a great editor, and it'll start to learn your voice. Human editors don't necessarily know my voice, but now that I've used ChatGPT for over 2 years now, it knows my voice. It knows how I'm thinking, and it will write something, and I'll say that's not my voice. Write it in my voice, and it'll write it.
This to me, if we didn't talk about anything else today, this is the everyone should open up their AI, their ChatGPT, and create a project.
Yeah.
I,
And if
you
you're a
know,
teacher or a principal or a parent, like even if you just went down to I have children and they're in elementary school and they're having trouble with their homework folder, and for a homework folder for each kid, like this is their homework. The teacher isn't really helping them so much, but they sent this homework home, and you take a picture of it and upload it and say, help me help my child and brainstorm this with me. Like I can do that through calculus now. No, you don't even.
I think as a so when you talk about the education space, if I had if I had ChatGPT in high school, I think I would have been a better student because
You were a good
I
student.
already know, you know, undiagnosed ADD. I could easily be all over the place. And I was a student that always was like, if someone could just read me the book
Well, see,
instead
I
of
was
because
diagnosed ADHD, so I'm gonna go with your diagnosed ADHD.
no, we're not going, nope. But okay. So and I truly believe that if because I think everything would have been easier because I could have asked ChatGPT to explain it in a way that makes sense to me based on this, this, and this. Just like in real estate, when people come to class, and because I've been teaching the same course so much that I dream about it. It's a buyer class that when new agents come, seasoned agents come, wherever they are in their business of in real estate, I have to break it down in a way where everyone understands. And some people are like, I just don't get it. And if that is you, you can use tools like ChatGPT to ask it to, okay, I'm trying to, and a good example would be is I have a buyer and they're working with a lender and the lender is not clear, but I want to explain to them why they should not go buy a car while they're in the process of purchasing a home. Like give them real reasons and the actual reasons why they shouldn't allow someone to pull their credit, or someone just needs help with trying to figure out what they can afford. And if they put in that they make $75,000 a year and they've got a monthly, this is what they currently pay for rent, this is what their expenses are, this is what their debt is, they can figure out what the end result is in a monthly payment. And then as a real estate agent, you could shop. It's not a replacement for a loan officer, it's not a replacement for doing the full loan application and having an underwriter look at your documents, but it's a great way to start a conversation, especially when you don't understand how the lending side works. So in my mind, there's so much you could do with AI.
Not just so much you can do, but also enhance what you're doing. And it's just making us smarter. It's making, if you did nothing else, just using it as a tool for personal and asking it a prompt. And I'm going to define prompt as a question or a statement. Statement, there's a period at the end. Question has a question mark at the end. And getting good at the who, what, when, where, how, why, where, what first if you want to just ask it questions, and then you get really elaborate when you're saying statements and giving it a direction. I need this, this, and this. How would I? And you get good at it when you start to educate ChatGPT. The belief is that if someone tells you, I already know that, I don't need any help with that, I'm already good at that, then that means, if you already have all the answers, you have no more room to grow.
Say it
ChatGPT can
again.
prove you wrong. If you already have all the answers, you have no more room to grow. So when people tell me in education, I've had parents, teachers, students, I already know that. So once you do that, you paralyze your growth mindset, and become a fixed mindset. Like you halt your own brain and you have this stop sign in your head that you don't want to learn from anybody else. You do not have all the answers. And ChatGPT doesn't have all the answers because it's pulling from everywhere. That's why getting access to other things and using ChatGPT to help you, and then using whatever, talking to people is imperative. And then using this to enhance what you're doing. Like, again, you don't know a growth mindset. This gives you the ability to have a growth mindset. I'm sure most people already do, but we can be experts in something and still not have all the answers, because I am confident that I'm an expert in education, and especially in a specific grade and content. That doesn't mean I know everything. It doesn't mean I can't go and reach and have support. It doesn't mean I can't, have a meaningful conversation and, hey, let me run this by you. What do you think? That's what ChatGPT is. What do you think about this? This is what I was thinking. Because if you don't have anyone to talk to, let ChatGPT be that thought brainstorming buddy.
So that's a really good takeaway. Let ChatGPT be your brainstorming buddy. We're going to come back. We're going to come back and talk to you about, how to use your mobile device to learn with ChatGPT. We are going to explore Sora. I used to edit television, but I've never been an animator. I'm pretty good with design. So we're going to come back. We're going to have some time to play with it. I will tell you, you probably need to upgrade to get access, maybe, but we'll keep you posted. We'll let you know. I'm Carrie Little. I own a brokerage in Illinois and in Florida, Caremark Realty Group. I want you to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Carrie Jo Little, and make sure that you follow me on Instagram and on TikTok.
And I'm Mina Blazy. I'm an educational leader here in California. And yes, follow me everywhere on YouTube. It's MJBLAZY. Everywhere else, it's Mina J Blazy, BLAZY. And just as a note, I'm here to help and support parents that want to use AI and educational leaders.